Hey guys, just doing something a little bit different. We've got an interview with none other than James White himself. Now, it's a little bit different because he is on his way over to Pro Tour London as we speak. So we caught up in the airport lounge on his way over to Japan first. So audio's a little bit here and there. It's a bit of a quick one because he's waiting for his flight, but I hope you enjoy the episode anyway. We're here. James White, you are currently somewhere in New Zealand, I imagine, in a flight lounge on the way to Pro Tour London. Is that right?
That's right. We're on the way to World Tour London, baby. This is the start of the epic expedition from the bottom of the world to the top of the world. 30 hours.
Oh.
Although I am going via Tokyo, we might check in with you mid-journey. So, yeah, you can see the planes in the background at our dinky little airport in New Zealand, down in Auckland, New Zealand. But, yeah, I'm in the flight lounge, about to jump on a plane and head up to World Tour London.
This guy doesn't mess about, everyone, and neither do we, because he's only got so much time. We're just going to crack on. We're going to get through these questions. Okay, so I've sent them over to you. You're cool with it. So we'll start off with the patron questions, and then we'll try and see what we can dig in from there. So Jack Raven has asked, why have Pro Tour pricing changed from PTIs to invites to the next Pro Tour? And are PTIs going to remain a thing for pricing events? So he's just noticed that the Pro Tour qualification has changed. You used to get PTIs, but now you're going to get a Pro Tour invite. Why is that the change?
Yeah, so two main things. I mean, firstly, the PTIs are still part of our pricing structure at events like the callings and so on. But it's important that we manage the PTI ecosystem sensibly. And if it bloats out and there's too many PTIs, it's just they become kind of not very special. And people value the PTIs, and I think it's important that people value the PTIs. So it's just about sort of managing the overall number of PTIs in the ecosystem. We also would just really like to see Pro Tour players chaining events together. So just incentivizing people to get on a plane and go to the next Pro Tour or World Tour stop is just a good thing.
Yeah, no, I think that's cool. That's cool. Next one we got from I think a man you may know, Mr. Mark Henderson. If that name rings a bell, he's a Kiwi that knows Tom Penny and Carol very well. He used to grow up around your end. He's asked, so the World Tour Player of the Year race is only 3 months in, but how do you see it going? Do you think it's a success so far? And what does the future of the system look like? Is there potential that it could reward invites to the future? So what's your thoughts on the Player of the Year thing that you've done this year so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's off to a great start, and I think that the intention of it is being reflected with folks like Jacob Clements and Alex Chitu, getting on planes and traveling around the world. Florian Christian as well. These guys were down to Brazil a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know whether they would have done that without the World Tour Player of the Year race. So it's fantastic seeing folks like that really embrace the program. Look, we're always going to be checking in and just seeing if there's things that can be tweaked and improved on it. Invites, I'm not sure, maybe. Our director of organized play, Trevor Baker, really owns that program. So these are also the things that he checks in on, and we'll make tweaks and improvements over time, I'm sure.
Well, I'll give you a little tidbit because I speak to Alex and I speak to Jacob because they're local guy. Well, not I say local, but I speak to them, and not just them, others. They have said that this new program that you've done is the reason why they jump on the planes and want to go and do more. So it's actually, so what you are hoping is literally come to life, that they actually went, yeah, we want to be the number one winner in the EU region. So I guess I want to go to more events now. Whereas before they literally said, I don't know, may or may not have, but it's really good. So it's actually worked out as I imagine what you hoped, really, to get people to see the world.
Absolutely. I think that it's certainly leaning into the culture that we're trying to, express or play the game, see the world. And I'm seeing lots of people posting on social saying that they go on a place that they've never been before. And I think that's sort of proof of success in action. I'm also really pleased with how we structured the Player of the Year race so that it's recognizing the 3 regions as well. It's not just this global race, but it's this regional-based race as well. And I think maybe that's a lot of the motivation behind Jacob and Alex particularly, and Florin, Christian as well. Like these guys are duking it out to try and capture that European Player of the Year crown. I think it's super cool.
It is super cool. Another thing that Mark's asked is just to change it up a bit. So Carol, from your dev Carol, got his first design credit from the Max Armory deck. Can you talk a little bit about what that leap between development to design means, and what it's like designing with a different and what is it like designing with a different perspective than usual?
Yeah, great question. And look, I think this is just reflective of we have a lot of great talent coming up through LSS. Carol's been with us for probably coming on 5 years now, and there's a lot of long-standing game developers at the studio now, and they've just really leveled up over the years. And I'm really proud of Carol. He's put in a lot of discretionary effort to put together different design concepts, and there's more products that he's already working on as well. So you can look forward to more good stuff coming through the pipeline from Carol. Yeah, look, in terms of Armory Deck Max specifically, like Carol laid out all of the foundational work for that. He had the vision for that particular product, making the sort of like all-in hyperdriver archetype for that particular deck. I sort of came in at the later stages and just sort of helped to maybe polish up the design a little bit and contributed here and there, but it was mostly Carol leading that one, and I think he did a fantastic job. I look forward to seeing the next Armory deck off the block from him.
Absolutely, it does look really cool actually. The design of just weighing into more of the wrench and all that sort of stuff. It's just really cool. It is really cool. Right. Yeah. Next one from Paul Crane. Are LSS planning to act on the feedback about how short printed the Hunted has been in Europe and the lack of stock that has made it very difficult for players to prepare for competitive events? So that's his question.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, fair question. And I would say that it's largely in part due to the very strong player growth that we're seeing across Europe and across the world. Like we are setting all-time records for number of active players at the Armory level event and at the program events such as Road to Nationals recently. So that's very, very pleasing, particularly given how competitive our industry is right now with a lot of different options on the table.
Very.
So it is very much a demand-driven problem. And there is one more wave of Hunter coming through to the market in a couple of months, maybe 6 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
But it is in the supply chain. One last bite of the apple, so to speak, and that's it. It'll be gone after that. So do make the most of this last little bit that's coming through in due course. I think it's around July that it's coming through, if I remember correctly. So it's a little way away, but it's in the pipeline.
That's awesome. That's really awesome to hear. So another question we got. These are from lots of the other people from the Discord. So I do apologise, everyone. I'm also trying to plan for a 5-year-old birthday, and James is on a flight, so we're moving at lightning speed here. So the rest of the names, I do apologise, but you know who it is that asked. So another question: do LSS have any plans for the use of lifetime experience earned?
Yeah, sure. And I think look, there's one thing I can point to already that demonstrates how we're going to use it, which is the celebrational invitations from last year. So we recognized the top lifetime XP from the Americas, Europe, and Asia Pacific. There will be other things probably similar to that in the future. We were recognizing these long-standing commitments to the game reflected through lifetime XP. But look, we want to make it relevant for sure.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. But I imagine it's one of those, just keep your eyes out as things progress. We'll see what happens. And I've been playing in this game for like 4 years. From what it was when I first started, when Crucible of War came out, to what it is now, it's like light years ahead, and it's just exciting every year. You just know something's coming down the pipeline. So I've got a question. I'm just going to sort of put a pause on what the patron questions for a sec, right? And I don't know whether I've got this sort of vibe and this feeling right. High Seas is out. I'm super excited, right? We've got a dual class pirate necromancer, a pirate mechanologist, and a pirate ranger coming out, right? Not to sort of weird out the sort of hype for it, because when you get to London and you see it, I'm sure you were going to display some more absolute hype around it. I will just ask though, it felt like the heroes came out just way too sooner than I felt that was meant to come out. I thought I was going to see them at London. Is there anything to sort of say about that, or is it just what it is, and we just move forward?
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. We have started moving these announcement dates forward, and the main reason is so that we can market the world premieres properly. They've become a mainstay on the world tour now. Absolutely, people love them. I mean, Prague sold out. Like, it literally was a packed room. Every seat in the room was taken over the course of that weekend. So like, there's a huge appetite for these world tour events and the world premiere events, and they're here to stay. But we need to be able to market them like properly. People need to know what they're signing up for, and it requires us to show a bit more of what's under the cover to really do that properly. So basically the cadence that you've seen for high seas will become pretty much the norm going forward.
That's really
minus the leaks.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm so hyped now. We're finally getting a necromancer coming into play. It's a class that I think everyone, every set that comes out, everyone goes necromancer, and you're like, no, not this one. So is necromancer been something that you always knew was going to come out in high seas? Is it like always been kind of there waiting for the right moment, or is it something that you just developed for the high seas basically? I don't know. I might be asking something that might be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, so we weren't saving necromancer for the high seas. It was more that we needed to deliver on a pirate set. DM Armada had sent me too many DMs over the years. It's like, oh man, I got to get this guy off my back. We've got to deliver the pirate set. So we went into the tank, and we brainstormed a whole bunch of potential classes that could form a pirate set, and pirate necromancer just seemed to make like perfect sense. The old shipwrecked captain who's roaming the sea floor and hunting for treasure, sunken treasures. So it just kind of made sense. And look, I'm really happy with how Gravy Bones turned out. He's fun and he's funny at the same time.
It is.
But yeah, look, there'll be more necromancers in the future that have slightly different, themes and looks and feels to them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It does look really cool as well. That the fact that there's also just leaves so much room for because a pirate is a class, not a talent, right? So it's really cool how you've managed to bulk out a whole set for a pirate class, as well as bulking out a load of stuff for the necromancer class, and it's coming out with an armory deck as well to help really bulk that out. And it seems like a really clever play from you can see that there's a lot of learning from when Assassin came out in Dynasty. It was like, okay, how am I going to keep pushing this brand new class out? And then one of the questions I was thinking in my head over it when I'm doing my podcast is, when a new class comes out, Christ, they've got like 13 sets of classes. How is this one class going to catch up? And I really like what you've done in this, just to sort of go, you know what? There's more ways than just a set that we can do this. So we haven't got long, everyone. I can literally hear the airport just ticking down on James's time. So there we go. Keep your eyes out, everyone. I'm sure if we can catch James in Japan, sure. If not, London. I'm sure everyone's just going to be absolutely gassed on what's coming out in high seas. And yeah, we'll move back on over to the Patreon questions. So, is there any chance of us getting a law book reprint? It's the law book. Oh, sorry, James. It's the law book reprint question that you get asked in probably every interview ever.
All good.
It's another one.
Keep it coming. Yeah. So, yes, we are going to reprint the law book. Maybe this year. In fact, I know it's on the pipeline. But more exciting than that is we have a print prototype of a new book. We were aiming to get it for London. Hold on a second.
Everyone, it's so hyped that the airport is literally like, stop, James, stop.
That's not my boarding call, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Look, we have the prototype print, the test print of a new book sitting in the office, and we were hoping it was going to be ready for World Tour London. It didn't quite get there in time, but it will be at World Tour Singapore. So it looks absolutely incredible. It's a little bit different in context from what we did previously. It's more showcasing art and world building and things like that. It's not quite the same sort of format as the original law book, but it looks absolutely stunning. I think the team has just smashed it out of the park. But when it comes to like another pure like follow-up law book, yeah, that's also in the works as well. But you can expect putting together an entire law book is a very big undertaking, and we just want to make more books in general. So you can expect to see different kinds of books coming through, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And cool. So the next book off the line is will be in Singapore. It looks absolutely incredible, and I think fans are going to be really, really happy with it.
I'm already just sitting there, just hyped. Is it going to be something kind of like the? And I know if you're going to say more information to come for sure, but is it something that it's purchasable, or is it kind of like the store thing, or is it kind of a bit more open for people to get their hands on it?
It is. I believe it's going to be purchasable, but
we'll see.
That sits with the Premier Events team at this point in time. I think it is only going to be available at the World Tour events at this point in time. I don't think it's going to be like an LGS thing yet, although I know the team is looking at different ways of being able to get these books in the future. It might become a special product for like the the hardest working gem stores across the world, something like that. But I know for a fact it'll be debuting at World Tour events.
That's really cool. I'm telling you now, if you put that book up as prize tickets, you'll see everyone go, "Oh God!" And then all of a sudden, lots of stuff is going to get sold.
Yeah.
You guys know. You guys know. So next question, we've got the next question. We saw the collaboration with Ultimate Guard at Worlds. When can we expect to see more of an Ultimate Guard Fab products?
I'm pretty sure that there's like the next wave of it at World Tour London.
Oh wow!
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. I think that I think there's like a whole bunch of Hunted Edition collab stuff at London. Don't hold me to that. No. I saw things floating around the studio. Our studio's got big. I don't know everything that's going on these days, but I saw a whole bunch of Ultimate Guard Hunter prototypes. I'm assuming that they were for London.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, we'll see. We'll see, everyone. You'll be there. Which sealed booster box do you see reaching the highest? This is a bit more of a value thing. It's a bit of a collector's question. So which sealed booster box do you see reaching the highest value in the open market in 2 years' time, excluding Alpha and Arcane First Edition? So
yeah, you should probably exclude Crucible First Edition as well.
Yeah,
to be honest,
and that,
exclude the first three. Yeah. So, like if I have to pick, I would say high seas. You guys will see when at the keynote. The keynote is going to be hype. You guys will see what we've stashed away, the secret source of high seas in the keynote. So if you're gonna ask me 2 years in the future what's going to be the most valuable booster box, I'd say high seas. If I have to pick one from the back catalog right now, I would say Dusk Till Dawn. To be honest, I think it's the most underappreciated, undervalued set that we have. There's the chance of opening, the art cards. There's only like
I know
10 hand-drawn sketch cards for Prism and 10 for Chain, and those things on the secondary market are massively coveted. So you have like the chance of opening this like ultra spike.
I suppose
and then you have like all of these. You got all of these just like such high-value tournament staples in it. So many just like big banger tournament staples. So and you got all the Marvel Angels. I think over time, like Prism is a great deck. She fluctuates in and out of being tier 1, but from a collector's point of view, the Marvel Angels are some of the most beautiful cards we've ever made, in my view. Like, I personally collect the Marvel Angels. I got a big old folder. I've spent so much money buying the damn Marvel Angels, I tell you. Yeah, seriously. I spent something like $20,000 buying the bloody Marvel Angels off the secondary market. I got to get my cards just like everyone else. But, I mean, just from a personal point of view, like, that's the kind of cards that really do it for me as a collector. So I think as their product ages, and more collectors are coming in, and the game keeps growing, and more things happen with Prism, those Marvel Angels are going to become like even more prestigious and special than they are now. Like, time does interesting things.
It does.
So yeah, my pick for back catalog, Dusk Till Dawn, but overall high seas, it's a banger. Yeah, go and get your pre-orders in, people. Get your pre-orders in.
I'm actually really hyped. I'm really, really hyped. It's a curious thing. I suppose you don't even know that the drawn stuff that you did for Dusk Till Dawn, which, by the way, we all forgot. Let's be real. We all forgot that happened. We saw it. We loved it. And then over time, do you know if they've all been opened? I guess you don't. That's the mystery.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, I think that about half of them have been opened that I'm aware of anyway.
Yeah. And the Emperor as well. Remember when you did that? There was only so many runs of the Emperor in the
he's
Marvel.
very rare, but those sketch cards, and like, I mean, I know some of the collectors who have who have acquired certain numbers or certain sketches that they just particularly liked, and those things they are very coveted, very valuable.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, right, there you go. That's a really interesting question. That was way more interesting than I thought. Because normally I'm like, collectors, whatever. But that was sick. Right, who do you think will be the first living legend from Welcome to Rave? Because of course, the best guy ever, Viscerai, is gone. Right, we've done it, everyone. He's the king. But who's the Welcome to
The king.
Rave? Who do you think?
Yeah, I think Dorinthia.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good. I mean, to be honest, that is a pretty fair. That's a pretty fair shout. It's a yeah. I sat there thinking for a bit it was going to be. I thought Bravo was going to do it, but here we go.
I mean, he's just stalled out. I think he's going to be floating around the top for quite some time yet. There's just other Guardians that do Guardian things
Yeah,
better than him now, unfortunately. But look, his infamy will always live on with Star of the Show. He is the star of the
yeah.
show. The showstopper has stopped. He stopped at 750 points. That's it.
That's done. That is the showstopper. Last one of the community questions as well. Has Ellis ever considered mucking around Blitz to make it way more different than CC? Than just some people just go, it's kind of half health, small deck size, same sort of deal, same sort of power. Is there a world of making Blitzes feel wildly just a little bit more different? I don't know.
Yeah, hold my beer. There's Blitz has problems. Blitz has some fundamental issues with it, and
Yeah.
like we have been spending quite a bit of time looking at some ways that we can offer a similar but better experience. It's a little way off yet, but yeah, just we think about it.
Yeah, I mean it's fair. I actually haven't picked up Blitz in a little while, and I picked it up when I did the Progress Plus over for Nationals last year, and I actually just thought, you know what, it's quite fun. It is quite fun, but it is just, I don't know. There's something. There's I know that there's more you can do with it. There's so much breadth of like young heroes out there, but I don't know. I know that I don't play it that much because CC is my jam. Like that's CC is my jam.
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's important to us that we create a home for the young heroes, and particularly the pace of game. Like we want to have a game mode that people can enjoy sort of the 10 to 15 minute games, as sort of like the baseline, or maybe the 10 to 20 minute range. And because CC can be a bit of a slug, right? You sit down and you play a game of CC, and you're like committing to a good chunk of time. So I think that there's an important place for the young hero format to exist. I think that Blitz has some fundamental issues. When you have 40 health or thereabouts, you can absorb these spike turns. But in Blitz, those spike turns typically end the game or put the opponent in a position where they are just like on the back foot to an extent where they can't come back. So it's very hard to mitigate this through Blitz and CC both sharing the same card pool, like going down from 3 copies to 2 copies of the top tier Majestics just doesn't really solve the fundamental issue, or it doesn't solve the fundamental issue at all, because you still pair together these combos that deal 20 plus damage turns, and in CC that's okay because you have enough life points to absorb that and continue on and have a great game where you can you can still have your pivot turn and do that back to your opponent and sort of like even the playing field, so to speak. So there's some fundamental issues with Blitz, and we have been putting quite a lot of work into some evolutions of the young hero format. It is a wee way away yet, but we do care. Believe us, we care a lot.
Right.
That was actually my boarding call, by the way. That one that I just blocked out. So I do have to jump on a plane in a few minutes' time.
Okay.
But
I'll leave this as the final thing then. I know this is going to sound like a nuts one. The last time we did an interview, you said, Hamish, wind your neck in. Stop asking so much stuff about Viscerai. But we've done it. He's off. He's off, everyone. Is our boy coming back one day?
He he is one of the most important. He is one of the most important characters in our IP and in our world. So you ain't seen the last of Viscerai yet, and yeah, he's got an important part to play.
Looking forward to it. And then just on that, you've got an important plane to catch. So thank you so much, James.
Thanks, Hamish. I'll see you in London.
See you in London.